In the Indian watchmaking space, for a very long time, it was Titan who reigned on everyone's wrist, and largely they still do. However, post COVID, things started to change a bit. We saw that a few vendors somehow revived the age old HMD, and we also witnessed some emergence of newer homegrown Indian micro brands. Among all this, one of the brands that was successfully riding this tide was Argos. Now, personally, Argos remains to be one of the most controversial watch brands in the Indian watch enthusiast community. Now, I'm saying this because they are a part of several forum discussions and groups where people do not hesitate to hold back. Some of it is acceptable, while some, I believe, are a bit too far-fetched. Argos began their journey in the year 2022 because they saw that there was a gap in the Indian mechanical watch space. If I'm not wrong, they started the Apollo series with a hand winding movement that intrigued nearly everyone, because back in that day, it was just unusual for us to see that an Indian brand is offering mechanical watches. Since then, they have capitalized on the Apollo series, with the Apollo 3 being the most recent one. So, overall, about the watch, it looks gorgeous. It feels very symmetrical because of the dial design and has a reliable Siegel movement. Siegel is a good movement, provides good movements. Just because it is Chinese doesn't mean it is bad. Although I feel that the Argos text on the top of the dial it's very off-putting. Argos has now also learned to showcase their watch specs with less fog. They are now more transparent about what materials and components are being used in their watches. The latest addition to their catalog is the Olympus, and I'm not really impressed. The flat rice bead bracelet looks odd with the case and dial. The case feels too thick for a wristwatch. The watch looks quite chunky, and when I compare it to Apollo 3, I just think that they tried a bit too much. Now, people may have criticized Argos for copying a certain brand's watch design, but I feel for an emerging business to start off their journey by producing watches, by getting inspired from certain watch designs, I think it's not wrong. And this inspiring from a watch design or copying a watch design, it's a common occurrence in the watch world. It's not like it's happened just right now, but it has been going on for quite a while. You'll see a certain brand's model being very similar to another brand's high selling model. So that's very common. So what's really wrong? Why do people crib about Argos so much? Why do I not have an Argos watch? It's about marketing, the way they position themselves, the way they want to be perceived. This brand won't rest until you buy a watch from them. They will bombard your social media feed with very silly ads, and honestly, I'm not sure for how long they can churn out this content, because honestly, it feels very pretentious from Argos. Argos, they don't let their watches breathe. They speak about themselves more than people speak about them. So all they talk about is perceived opulence that the customer will feel, and the fact that it is not battery powered. See, these are not sustainable USPs. Having a power reserve indicator is a cool feature, that's definitely it is, but it's not a USP. Now, I personally did not buy an Argos watch because I felt I was buying the marketing and not the product, even though the product is good. I also felt when I'm buying an Argos watch, I'm not just buying a watch. I'm also buying the AI subscription that they have endlessly used to produce their Instagram captions. Now, some may argue that many international brands also sell on marketing, but these international brands have a long proven reputation of making watches, and they always have a story to tell. That is why micro brands have to rely immensely on product quality, positioning, and designs. And the other thing I would point out is price. Currently, if I see, it's funny to see a 40% off on almost all models in their catalog all the time. even a limited edition watches, even the limited edition watches are on a discount. And I don't really understand why a yellow dial is limited edition. You can do way better. Aditya Matre, aka Whatnot Man on Instagram, pointed that Argos is using a self-made review in his name on their website without his permission. Now, see, this is a common occurrence in brands. They write up their own review and they just get the approval from the person whose name they intend to use. And I'm pretty sure this was a miscommunication between both the parties. Let's get back to Argos. They cater to regular customers who are tired of wearing the same old design, because Argos is offering numerous variations on their watches. With the Apollo 3, you can have multiple dial colors and even different varieties of bracelets and straps. But I'm really hoping they change the way they present themselves, and only then maybe I would consider buying an Argos. Now, see, I'm really just an enthusiast who likes to think about these things. I'm certainly not in a position to tell anyone how to run a brand, and I'm pretty sure the Argos team knows about running this business far more than I do. In terms of business, they have been doing quite well. They recently, not recently, but this year they secured a 6.5 crore investment, and it would be very interesting to see how they go from here. So that being said, I hope they take a moment to reflect on the disproportionate balance between product and promotion. There's so much potential in what they've already built: versatile designs, homegrown identity, and I believe in the long run, identity matters as much as product itself. With a few changes here and there, I'm pretty sure Argos could win over even the most skeptical enthusiast, and even maybe even me. I'll continue watching their journey with interest and not as a critique. There's a lot to learn from what they've been doing right, and even more from the challenges that they are facing. And it will be interesting to see how they head from here. This is Manan. Thank you for watching.